Good morning and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. This video is a request video. Someone wanted me to do a quick tutorial on how I line my market bags. So we're gonna line a market bag, you guys. We're only gonna do one. It's 1 in the morning. I was trying to shoot this video at 10 p.m. last night, but what happened was I was on the phone with my cousin and my sister on a three-way, and we just got off the phone about 30 minutes ago. So anyway, we're going to start with this market bag right here. I've already cut the material. I bought 1 yard, and that 1 yard was precisely enough for these square market bags. Perfect. It's longer, but that's okay because I will fold when it's time to fold. So first of all, the materials that you will need are, first of all, you need fabric. That's one. I've already pinned one side and I'm going to demonstrate the other side. If you have any of the thread wax, this would be a good time to use it. What you do is you take it and you run it along the side. Oops. I don't know why that did that. But anyway, you run it along in the slit of the wax and it waxes your thread. And so what it does is it holds the string together, although it's not doing it here, but it does make it easier to sew. You won't get the tangles, you won't get the knots or anything, and you'll be able to sew smoothly, especially by hand. So I like to use the thread wax. It works better for embroidery, but this is okay. So I just waxed the needle and thread, and I already threaded the needle previously. Whoops. You're gonna need stick pins. And I already have my stick pins out, so let me close this top before something happens. So you're gonna need stick pins. It's a good idea to have a seam ripper on hand just in case you have to rip something out. You're gonna need your thread and a needle, of course. And you're gonna need scissors. These scissors are so dull. I've tried the aluminum foil sharpening. I tried sharpening it on my knife sharpener, on my other can opener. Nothing. This wouldn't even cut through the fabric. So I will be taking these scissors to my local farmer's market in a couple of weeks. Well, it's June now, so probably next week or the week after. And there's a professional knife sharpener there. He sharpens knives and scissors, and for a low price. So I'm gonna take these there since they're Gingers and get them sharpened and back in shape. And so I ended up using the smaller scissors to cut my fabric, but I was able to cut it. Okay, so then after you cut it, this is going to be the bottom part of the liner. So I just folded it. And like I said, or folded it. I think I mentioned before that when I line my bags, I used to use pillowcases, but in this case, can't use a pillowcase. So anyway, what I did after I cut the fabric, it was already folded in this shape, which was good. It was just folded twice over. So I unfolded one. And so this is going to be the bottom part of the bag. I left about a 1/2 inch on each side for more space. So the first thing I'll do is I pin one side. So now I'm getting ready to pin the other side, and then, I just stuck myself with the pin. And then after I get this side pinned, then I will demonstrate how I sew it. Okay, so I'm pinning it now. In fact, let me let the camera down so you can see. Excuse the mess. Okay, so I'm pinning it. And I don't pin close together. I just leave enough space just to hold the material. That's basically, actually, I don't need to pin it, but I just like to pin. It makes me feel like I'm actually sewing, okay? Oops, let me close got my pajamas on and all that. Don't want y'all seeing everything. Okay, so now I have completed the pinning. So now it's time to start sewing. So what I will do is, I'm starting on the first side that I pinned. You know what? I guess y'all just seeing all of Q today, okay? I got the dress pulled down now. Whew, Lord. Okay, so now, let me cover up just in case it rises up. Okay, so I'm going to start sewing. So let me grab my needle. What did I do with it? Hold up, y'all. I'm going to have to put on these darn glasses because I just had that darn needle and thread. Okay. Oh, here it is. I couldn't see it. Okay, so here it is. And wait a minute, before we start, y'all know I got to do my preliminary. Here's my little sewing basket. I wanted you all to see my little sewing basket. This is the one I bought at Goodwill for $2.80. I like it because it has a pin cushion right on top of it. So how handy. I still need a bigger one, and I will be purchasing one. That's my only regret. I had the opportunity to buy one at the liquidation store, but then I decided that they'd have them the next day cheaper. They were sold out. So this is the top of it. So, and then this is inside of the sewing basket, all my little stuff. Okay, so, and I think it's nice, but I want a bigger one. I want a big square one with the compartments and whatnot, especially with my embroidery. I like to be able to put my hands on things. This I had to dig through just to get everything out what I needed. So that's the reason why. Okay, so now it's time to begin to sew. So I'm coming along the side. So I'll do one side and then I'll do the other side. And once I do that, it will look like a bag. And then we'll start to connect. So, and I like to try to sew it small. It doesn't have to be too small. And I always come underneath the pin. No, wait, yeah, I'm coming underneath the pin because that's my 1/2 inch extra for the width of the bag. And as you can see, pulls through fairly easy. Let me remove the pin real quick. And yeah, I'm going slow because I haven't sewn. Ooh, I can't tell you when the last time I've sewn anything. I haven't done a bag liner. Ooh, it's been a couple of years. Because the bags I've made in the most recent years, I haven't put a lining in. Because the bags aren't stretchy. They've been made with cotton yarn. But if you're working with anything other than cotton, you must put a liner in. Or if it's like, well, I've never lined a mesh bag before, but I am this time. Simply because it's Noro. Okay, so I'm going to finish my sewing because this is going to take a while. I'm going to put you on pause. And once I get both sides sewn, I will come back and show you the meat of the whole project. Getting the market bag sewn to my actual, getting the lining sewn into the actual market bag. Oh, but before I leave, I came up with an idea for some of the Joann bags. After I clean up the waste baskets, and you'll see in tomorrow's video, it was filmed on today, the Q&A, I did that today. And I broke a record with time, y'all. I tried to stick to the subject and move on instead of all the preliminaries and extra stuff. But I was out in the greenhouse, and I took one of the garbage cans out there, and my tool fit in there perfectly. All the bolts that I purchased filled the garbage can perfectly, with no room to spare after I got it in there. So that's what that garbage can is going to be for, the tool. And then the other garbage cans, I decided, because I had said I was going to put one in the laundry room. Well, actually, I have a smaller garbage can in there. So I'm not going to do it. Those other two, I'm going to use them for storage. All the stuff I bought from Joann's during the liquidation period, I'm going to put all that stuff, I'm going to store it in there and just put it in the closet. Instead of taking items and stacking items up, I can put all the items in those garbage cans and then just put them in the closet. So where the bags come in, I decided however many bags it take, I'm quite sure to be more than enough because I have 4,000 of them. I'm going to take, after I clean the garbage cans up, get them nice and spiffy, I'm going to take the bags, cut the bags in half, wrap it around the garbage can as much as possible, and probably glue the bags to the garbage can. So once I cut the bag in half, it'll be long, it'll be oblong. So it'll say Joann, and then whatever the back of the bag says, because, you know, they have different sayings on the back of the bag in that lime green color. And so I'm going to cover the whole garbage can on the outside with the Joann logo, you know, from the bags. And so that's how I'm going to decorate the garbage, the waste baskets. And they'll be just used for storage. And they'll fit perfectly in my closet. Actually, one will be in my closet, and the other one I'm going to have on display in my office / first spare bedroom. I'm going to have it out in there. And so when people see it, they'll be like, oh, that's so neat, or whatever, you know. Okay, so I'm going to put you on pause, and I will return once the sewing of this portion is complete. Shall return. Okay, I am back. I just finished my side seams. As you can see, it looks sloppy. It doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be nice, because after you sew, you're going to flip the bag inside out so the stitching will not show. Actually, what it looks like now is a pillowcase. And yeah, I covered up in my blanket, y'all. Okay. So it's now flipped inside out. And still, it doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not a perfect seamstress to begin with. I'm not even a seamstress. I hate sewing, to tell you the truth. I love embroidery, but I hate sewing. Okay, so once you flip it inside out, you're going to grab your bag and you're going to stuff your lining inside. And this has a lot of extra room. I always like for the lining to be bigger than the actual bag, because it will allow you, the bag will still expand, you know, with this being wider and longer, the bag will still expand, it just won't stretch. So you'll still be able to fit a lot into the bag. Okay, so once you get it inside, hold on, let me get it correct here. Okay, once you get it inside, what I like to do is fold down, because I always leave extra room. I fold down the edging of the bag, and you see me doing that right now. And just like on the other one, I do it on one side. I do one side at a time, and I don't pin. So I folded it to where it's even with the with my border. See how I have it lined up? Now this is the part where you do want to be a little bit more careful with your stitching, because it will, well, I don't think this is going to show because I'm using the black thread. Oops, I'm starting on the wrong side. Okay, so you just put it together like I just did, and you start sewing. And I'm sewing all the way across, and when I get to the end, I will stop. And then I will sew the other side to the end, and then these parts, the ends will connect at that point, and I'll make sure I tuck that in nice and neat, and then pin it down with the sewing, with the thread, by sewing a few stitches to hold that down. I just find that easier. Instead of trying to sew in a circle, I just sew straight across, and then I connect the ends after I'm done. So as you can see, I'm working very small stitches, making sure to keep this even with the border of the bag. And this is my first time ever lining a diamond mesh bag. But it's the same concept, I think, as with any other bag. Okay, I will be back once I finish this row. In all transparency, I'm coming to let you know I have to frog, you guys. As you can see, I decided to put the lining right along the top. It dawned on me, usually when I line, I come to the bottom of the border row and the top is free, so you can't see the lining at all. So because I'm doing that, I'm going to frog this and start over. So when you see the bag the next time, I will have the lining in. Ooh, I love the seam ripper. Oh, this is just wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so when I'm done with this, this row of lining, you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, be back. Okay, I am back momentarily. I'm actually going to continue on. I did reach the end, but it folded down neatly, so I better lock it in while I can, you guys. So I'm gonna just continue around. So I'm locking it in now, and I will show you how it looks. Just a second, let me get this second one in. And then I'll lock in that other one once I get around to the other side. So this is how it looks. When you look at the bag from the outside, you don't see the lining. And my stitching isn't perfect because I am not a seamstress. The name of the game is get it in, okay? Just as long as it's straight. And you can see how the bag is looking thus far. You can't really even see the lining. You can still see the stitching of the bag. And now that bag is not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna stretch. So I can load it up and I don't have to worry about the bag stretching down to the floor. But let me finish it. I'm gonna finish it off, and then I will come back to show you the end result of the bag. And then I'm gonna pull the lining out so you can see it from the bottom, and I'm gonna put something in it to demonstrate how it no longer stretches. Shall return. Okay, I am back and I just finished the bag. Now, like I said, it's not perfect by no means, but the objective was to get the lining in. So here it is, it's in there. Okay, so it looks kind of misshapen because it's actually the liner. We're going to pull it out and you see that it's actually longer than the bag, but I wanted it that way so that when I put items in there, if it's being stuffed, there's room in this part. This is actually now the bag, and this is the decoration covering the bag. And so it's not going to look pristine like this. Now, if I was using a bag like this, I think it would look a lot better, but you're going to get all that stretch and whatnot. So now we're going to stuff the bag. And I brought out my favorite shawls here to stuff it with. And instead of one shawl, actually I can put one. See the difference? Now we're going to compare it to this one without the lining.